say luxury belongs to fashion houses and jewelry. They say tech is cold, functional, mass market. But Apple transformed both assumptions. Through design, mindset, and relentless discipline, Apple rose above just electronics. It became a luxury icon. Today, it commands premiums that rival Rolex, Louis Vuitton, and Ferrari. This is the story of how a computer company turned itself into the crown jewel of luxury tech. In 1976, in a small garage in Los Altos, California, Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne founded Apple Computer. They built the first Apple I. It was humble, gritty, and full of flaws. But from the start, Jobs imagined more than just machines. He wanted tools that people love. Elegant, intuitive, human. Throughout the 1980s, Apple had its ups and downs. The Apple II and Macintosh created early loyal followings. But missteps, leadership changes, and competition from IBM and Microsoft nearly derailed the company. In 1997, Apple was struggling financially and creatively. Jobs returned to lead the company, and he introduced something radical: the mantra, "Think different." He reoriented Apple's identity, not just a PC maker, but a brand rooted in creativity, style, and emotional connection. This was the seed of luxury positioning. Chapter 2: Design as Differentiator. One of Apple's biggest breakthroughs was insisting on industrial design as a core pillar. Jobs hired Jony Ive and empowered him and the design team to obsess over every curve, every material, every detail. Wikipedia punts 1. From the translucent Bond blue iMac to the sleek aluminum unibody MacBook, Apple made beauty functional. Unlike most tech firms that prioritize specs and features, Apple made design a competitive moat. Every Apple product looked and felt premium. Subtle touches, polished aluminum, edge chamfers, clean interfaces, began signaling to the world: this is not commodity tech, this is luxury tech. Moreover, Apple protected its design identity aggressively. Almost everything, down to store layout and packaging, was patented and controlled. Apple Insider +2 LinkedIn +2. This level of consistency provided users with a seamless, high-end experience across products, software, and environments. Chapter 3: The iPod to iPhone Revolution. In 2001, Apple introduced the iPod. It wasn't the first MP3 player, but it was the most aspirational. Its clean UI, iconic click wheel, and seamless integration with iTunes turned the iPod into a cultural object. People didn't just buy iPods for music. They bought status and a sense of belonging. Then in 2007, Apple launched the iPhone. It fused a phone, an iPod, and the internet in one beautifully designed device. Suddenly, Apple was in the mobile arena, but with a luxury mindset. It priced the iPhone higher than its competitors and delivered a premium experience, featuring sleek hardware, refined software, and a cult following. The result? Apple didn't just sell phones, it sold prestige. Even when competing devices had similar features, the Apple name elevated perceived value. Consumers accepted and expected the premium. Chapter 4: Building the Ecosystem and Lock-in. A brand can't be luxury if it feels fragmented. Apple understood this. It built ecosystem synergy: Mac, iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, iCloud, App Store, all connected, seamless. Switching out of the ecosystem became painful. Once inside, users were locked in. Apple also shifted from selling devices to selling experience and services. Revenue from services, App Store, iCloud, Apple Music, etc., grew rapidly. That recurring income supported premium positioning and reduced dependency on hardware upgrades. This integration created a luxury loop: luxury hardware, emotional bond, consistent quality, recurring services, brand loyalty, premium price acceptance. Chapter 5: Pricing. Strategy and margin discipline. Luxury brands don't compete on price. They compete on perceived value. Apple followed this. It never seriously engaged in discount wars or low-end price slashing. It held margins high. Even in smartphone battles, Apple sold fewer units than rivals like Samsung, yet captured a disproportionately high share of profits. In some years, Apple pocketed over 80–90% of smartphone industry profits, despite lower volume. Apple Insider +2, Brandemic +2. This pricing discipline reinforced luxury perception. You pay more, but you expect more. Chapter 6. Apple Stores, Showrooms, Not Retail. Luxury brands often control their retail environment. Apple did the same. Apple stores are not transactional. They are branded temples. Minimal, high ceilings, clean white design, careful lighting. Employees are knowledgeable, professional, and not pushy. Walking into an Apple store feels like entering an art gallery of technology. It reinforces luxury. The product is precious, the environment curated. The result was astonishing. Apple generated some of the highest revenue per square foot in retail. Ranker +1. Even as malls and retail struggled elsewhere, Apple stores thrived. Chapter 7. Strategic Branding and Secrecy. Apple's marketing was never about shouting specs. It told stories, emotions, and aspirations. The Think Different campaign framed Apple as rebellious, creative, and outside the norm. This narrative attracted not just users but believers. Apple also mastered secrecy and anticipation. New product reveals felt like world events. The rumor cycles, leaks, and anticipation built a mystique. This aura of exclusivity added to Apple's luxury feel. As Apple's brand value climbed, it began to sit above many traditional luxury names. By 2025, Apple was the most valuable brand globally, surpassing many non-tech and luxury houses. Wikipedia +1. In fact, Apple became the first brand to cross $1 trillion in brand valuation. Reuters. Chapter 8. Challenges and Criticisms. No rise is without pushback. Apple's ascent toward luxury faced criticisms. Some claim its ecosystem is too closed or restrictive, walled garden. Apple Insider +1. Critics argue that innovation has slowed post-Jobs era. The premium pricing excludes large markets where affordability matters most. Occasional product missteps, antenna problems, battery controversies, risk tarnishing the luxury perfection image. But Apple has mostly responded by doubling down on quality control, customer service, and refining iteration over radical change. Chapter 9. Legacy and the Future of Luxury Tech. Today, Apple is not just a tech giant. It is a benchmark for luxury in electronics. It competes not just with Samsung or Google, but with high-end watchmakers, designer brands, and premium automobiles. In markets like China, Apple is considered more desirable than many classic luxury brands. Time. But Apple doesn't rest. It invests heavily in R&D, pushing into AR/VR, Vision Pro, chips, AI, and wearable ecosystems. Business Models Inc. +2, Apple Insider. +2. It continues designing with intention and controlling every touchpoint. Its success tells us something simple but profound. Luxury is not only about price. Luxury is about emotion, experience, consistency, and Apple mastered that in tech. Closing. Motivational message. When someone says tech can't be luxury, Apple says otherwise. When someone doubts design matters, Apple proves it does. Apple's journey reminds us, you don't have to be born luxury. You can build luxury with vision, discipline, and refusal to compromise. So dream big. Focus on experience, not just product. In the world of tech, the true luxury is to be unforgettable,